We pride ourselves on breeding the best to the best. Mr. Funk has put a lot of money and allowed us to go out and select the genetics that we think will benefit and add to the program. And we have a very rigid culling process, and so not only do the cattle have to perform in terms of phenotype and their individual performance, but we also are really excited that we're working a lot now with the genomically enhanced EPDs. So it gives us quite a bit of lead time on selecting the best ones to continue to try to improve the herd.
I believe in the acronym of team. Together, everyone achieves more. And it's really those people who've really done the great job, not me. I've been able to paint the picture of what I'd like to have, but they're the ones that are the operators and have taken the operations to where they are. And so I'm really proud of my people.
Next on Beringer Ingelheim's The American Rancher, we travel to Oklahoma and visit the outstanding seedstock operation, Express Ranches. Hello and welcome to today's program, brought to you by Beringer Ingelheim Vet Medica Incorporated. We're going to Express Ranches on this program, which is located west of Oklahoma City, outside the town of Yukon. The Express operation has become the largest seed stock provider in America and truly offers outstanding genetics in volume with great customer service. We'll talk with the owner, Bob Funk, as well as President Gerald Callahan and a number of others today about Express Ranches and see some great Angus livestock. This is The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. We're glad you joined us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The American Rancher. Express Ranches has become a crossroads for all segments of the beef industry. The operation conducts 5 production sales each year, marketing primarily Angus and a small percentage of Limousin and Limflex composite genetics to all types of cattlemen.
When I was young, I was in the dairy business, and I loved my cattle and loved being around the ranch, and I really wanted a ranch when I was 25 years old. My cousin wouldn't sell it to me, so when Express became well known and we started growing the personnel, the human resource business, I decided I was going to get back into the ranching business and try and be the very best in the cattle business that we possibly could be. That's been our number one objective, is to have the best genetics and to have a ranch that helps other ranchers to develop protein so that they can help the world as well. And it's a complex business today. It's not the same when I was growing up, and oftentimes you have to do things that are very technical, of which I'm not very proficient at, but I have some wonderful people working for me. I have a great general manager, a president, in Gerald Callahan, and we have some employees that have been with me almost 15 to 17 years.
Bob's first love in the cattle business was Limousin cattle, and he has been a stalwart of that breed since he first invested his time, money, and energy into it. More than a decade ago, an important chapter of Angus history began as Bob Funk and Gerald Callahan negotiated the purchase of the B&L Ranch near Shawnee, Oklahoma, and the B&L Angus cow herd from the Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association Foundation. With that transaction, Angus cattle became a major part of the growth and expansion of the Express Ranches enterprise.
When I came to Express, that's almost over 15 years ago, and Bob and I was talking, and he talked about his desire to produce commercial bulls for the commercial industry. and wanted to know about his location. And I said, Bob, I don't know if you have an ideal location to sell 100 bulls, but I think you have an excellent location to sell 1,000 bulls. And he looked at me somewhat like he looks at me a lot and wanted to know why I thought that. And in this area that we're in now is smaller cow-calf operations, but we're strategically located to the big cow-calf operations in Oklahoma, which are primarily in northeast, south central, southeast Oklahoma, and northwest Oklahoma. And we're within 150 to 200 miles of all of those operations. And if you have enough volume to select from, people are willing to drive that far for the right genetics and the right people to buy from.
Express Ranches understands that commercial cattlemen must be profitable to remain in the ranching business. From top to bottom, Express shapes and patterns the seedstock cattle they raise on the real-world principles and demands of today's market.
Our job is to provide genetics that aid them in their bottom line. Our attempt is to raise problem-free cattle that have added performance and value. We try to take as much of the selection process out of it as we can for the commercial producer in this regard. If we identify problems, we select against those. Because what we're trying to do is present him a bull that gets the job done, stays in, gets the cows bred, and he never has any problems with. Then, on top of that, we're trying to select for low birth, high performance, with great carcass genetics, so he has the potential to get the added value of growth, efficiency, and carcass premiums.
Gerald Callahan and the Express Ranches team have carefully constructed an excellent, volume-rich Angus seedstock source. They work and partner with a number of other ranches and continually refine their bloodlines.
The bloodlines that we have are not just unique to Express Ranches. We're always trying to go out and identify and utilize through AI and embryo transfer the best genetics there are in the business. There's a bull that we raised this past year, EXAR Upshot. He's a sits upward son that we're going to use heavily. Bobo Angus in Tennessee bought a half interest in that bull. Another bull that's going to be an integral part of the program, the progeny on the ground, they look excellent, is a bull called CONNEALY Consensus. A bull that we own in concert with Three Trees Ranches, 6EM3. A bull that was bought from Wehrman's has actually been the high-selling sire group the last couple of years, last couple of bull sales at Express. And then the bull that's become a standby the last 3 or 4 years at Express, EXAR 263C, who was a product of crossing the 1407s on the Midland daughters, because that's what he is. And he has contributed greatly to this program as well, because he probably has one of the best EPD and genomic profiles of any bull in the Angus sire summary. One of the things we've tried to do here, we believe in using EPDs and all the information that we have available to make genetic progress. So one of the things that we've always tried to do here is to sell a product that's in the prime of its life. And so basically, with a few exceptions on partnership cows or a few donors, every year we basically sell every cow when she's 4 years of age, plus we sell a lot of younger cattle than that, but we try to keep our herd really young. We try to progress and add new genetics, and we believe that we're making progress that way. But as importantly, from a marketing standpoint, we're not selling somebody a bunch of old cows. We've always got young stock in the prime of their life that we're marketing.
Now ranked as the largest seedstock operation in America, Express will sell more than 5,000 head of Angus, Limousin, and Limflex genetics during the coming year. Mark Squire serves as Vice President and oversees administration.
We have a tremendous set of cows and donor cows that we work with. Those Angus females have been able to do what we do in terms of sales of almost 2,000 bulls a year to a commercial cattleman. It's going to have as much information on that particular set of cows than there is on probably any other set of cows in the country when we get through this year. We also have a tremendous Limousin and Limflex herd. The Limflex bulls have been very popular with our commercial customers, as well as those Limousin show heifers that Express Ranches is so popular for.
Donnie Robertson serves as Vice President and oversees marketing for Express Ranches.
The people are so important, and this is the cattle business, but it's also a people business. And one thing that we strive hard to do here at Express is customer service and making sure that the customer is happy.
Express develops bulls on feed at their Jensen operation west of the ranch headquarters.
The bull calves are put into groups of about 125 to 50. Those bull calves are started out at about 2% of their body weight, and at the very maximum we'll get them up to about 2.5%, again of a high roughage ration. We used to feed our bulls a lot harder. The way we develop our bulls now is much more in line with the way the commercial industry develops feeder cattle and ultimately fed cattle than probably the way we used to do it. And so we're very proud of that. A lot of our bulls go into big, rough, rocky country. And if they don't make it, you either one, will hear about it, or two, you'll never see them again. It's a competitive business, and the customer is going to have to go where he gets the best product for the price, and if you're not giving it to him, somebody else certainly will in America.
Well, if we can improve the genetics and we can improve the pounds that come from every calf that a commercial producer produces, then we're helping them to help themselves.
Used to be that it was just birth weights and weaning weights and yearling weights. Then it became ultrasound data, carcass data, and all kinds of data. And now there's genomic advancements that have so much genetic and genomic testing with it. Today, it's really important for Express Ranches to use our expertise to disseminate that information so that our customers can understand the differences in the cattle that we have to offer, as well as which ones will be the most profitable for them.
Bob Funk, Gerald Callahan, and the whole Express Ranches team has a great sense of running a conscientious and cattleman-savvy program. The Angus genetics there are pace setters for the industry, and they continue to push the bar higher with each year. We'll visit with stockmen that use them when we come back. And the next time you're on the web, check out our website, theamericanrancher.com, or share with us on Facebook as well. You're watching The American Rancher. Stay with us. Welcome back to The American Rancher. We've learned that Express Ranches is an industry leader without question. They also feed cattle and are mindful of conservation as well. When you talk with stockmen, you'll find that Express is liked as well as respected. Here's more on our story.
We started buying bulls from Express Ranches in 2004. One of the nice things about Express Ranches is they handle so many cattle, and as such, they're keeping track of so many numbers of cattle, cattle that are on feed, cattle that are harvested. They know those carcass characteristics. They know how to tweak their bull batteries and cow herds to produce the kind of bulls that we need out here. So when we send these cattle to kill and they jerk the hide off of them, we're going to get paid the premiums. I mentioned to you earlier about a pen of cattle on feed at Cattleman's Choice Feed Yard at Gage, Oklahoma. Dale Moore just texted me the other day and said those cattle on a 71-day check weight with the 2% shrink taken off of them, we're still gaining 5.2 pounds a day. We visited their ranch at Yukon and looked at the cattle, visited their ranch out in New Mexico and looked at the cattle and the land. And one thing that strikes us is that they're, first of all, great conservationists. They take care of the range and the land. They're great stewards of the cattle, and they're also great stewards of all the relationships that come their way. They'll take good care of you, not because they have to, but because they like to.
We've got a purebred Angus operation. We primarily focus on selling bulls to the commercial producers. We've bought cattle from Express Ranches, I think, for probably about 12 years now. A lot of herd bulls, and as well as using semen out of their bulls and registered females as well.
I guess you'd call Mr. Bob Funk the man with the moves. He got it going. Gerald and Mark and Donnie and Kevin work good together. They've got a crew under them that are excellent. treat us excellent. They're into customer service. For us, Express has been great. We took a couple potloads of cattle females to Iowa here first part of June to sell, and of course it drew a crowd in, I believe because of, well, somewhat because of us, but a lot of it was because of the Express genetics. They add value to our cattle, and that's why we do business there and we use them.
Kevin Hafner serves as vice president and oversees operations for Express Ranches.
I think the bull has to go out, he has to breed cows, he has to stay in, he has to do all those things first. When we get past that, then we can start looking at genomics, we can look at WDAs, we can look at performance, but we've got to get back to the basics a little bit on the front end side of this, and they've got to do what they're meant to do, is go out and service cows. I enjoy going out, delivering cattle, seeing people, looking at calves, putting together commercial programs, and like working with Superior, we're going to do on the 26th and sell a lot of EX-influenced cattle. I mean, it's important from our standpoint to go back and help those individuals market those cattle.
I think customers, one thing, I think feedback from customers and repeating customers is a telltale sign of how we're doing in the industry. You know, when you're the largest seedstock producer in the country, you're held to a little higher of a standard, and a lot of people look at you, and they look at you at what you're doing, what sires you're breeding to, how you're merchandising your cattle, what numbers you're looking at the most. And so with that, it's very important for us to use the right sires that will work not only here, but nationwide.
Recently, the acquisition of the historic UU Bar and Mora ranches located just outside Cimarron, New Mexico, has added over 150,000 acres of high-altitude rangeland to Express Ranches.
Cattle ranchers are wonderful people. They love the earth, they love their animals, they love the ecology of their ranches. They take good care of them, and there's been criticism, of course, of ranching that they don't take care of their land, but ranchers take better care of their land than anybody else anywhere probably in the world.
The historic Chisholm Trail is marked on Express Ranches as it coursed out of Texas and through what was then Indian Territory. The Express Ranches Progressive Junior Scholarship Program is designed to help America's youth continue their education by enrolling in undergraduate courses of studies at an accredited 2- or 4-year college, university, or vocational technical school. Bob Funk believes in youth, and the program has generated more than $2 million in education funds to date. The Clydesdale Barn at Express Ranches is a great attraction that literally draws hundreds of visitors each week. The Express Clydesdales have been competing nationally and in Canada since 1999. Bob is very proud of them and often accompanies them to special gatherings and events. Bob had the pleasure of escorting the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William, and his lovely wife, Catherine, in the Express Stagecoach in Alberta, Canada, where they helped kick off the Calgary Stampede. One of Express Ranch's most popular auctions is the Big Event Sale that occurs in late August. This year, Superior Livestock will be joining Express for a special feeder calf auction during the big event that will be broadcast on RFD TV.
First day is going to offer up in concert with Superior. So a lot of our commercial customers are going to offer their calves, some of them directly off the cow, some of them will be backgrounded, some of them will be naturals. It depends on what their program is. And so we're really excited about it. We know this first year we'll probably only have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 head, but it's something that we're trying to do to help our commercial clientele add value to their product.
And at that event, we've had as many as 2,000 people for dinner the night before, and we have an entertainer of some kind that comes in and entertains, usually country and western style entertainer. And then, of course, we have a 2-day sale where we try and sell about 600 to 800 head of cattle at that one sale.
Gerald Callahan and the Express Ranches team have carefully constructed an excellent, volume-rich Angus seed stock source.
I love the cattle business. I love the cattle people. It's a tough business. Bob's greatest asset is he loves people. He's a people person. He's a great motivator. Bob sees the big picture. He don't sweat the small stuff.
I grew up in a town of 330 people, and I loved it, and I still do today. I love the ranching area, and I love being out in the wide open, and I love the people in the ranching business. That's really what attracted me the most, is the wonderful people that are in the cattle business and how they treat each other and how they enjoy each other. And it's just a pleasure to be in the business.
Make plans for Express Ranch's annual big event sale this August 26th and 27th at the ranch just north of Yukon, Oklahoma. This is a great time with entertainment, fellowship, and superb cattle. At this year's big event, Express has joined up with Superior Livestock and will be having a special feeder calf sale, which will be broadcast live over RFD TV. It'll be a fantastic gathering. We'd like to thank Bob Funk and all the folks at Express Ranches for a great show and the visit to their operation. For more information about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or check us out on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.